The video platform this video is currently hosted on doesn't like videos on the subject that Genesis 9 discusses that involves a chair with a current running through it. So in order to not be banned or booted, we are just going to call our issue Genesis 9.
Count 1. Malice murder, I sentence you to life without the possibility of parole.
Let me share with you 5 reasons I believe the Laken Riley verdict was an absolute travesty, and instead Genesis 9 should have been his sentence. Please note, this list does not include the fact that it cost taxpayers like you and me $120.59 per day. Don't worry, I did the math. That's $39,158 per year. That means that this life taker lives for another, say, 30 years. That will cost taxpayers $1,174,740, not including inflation. Please note, I'm also not going to argue that Genesis 9 brings down the crime rate, even though it does. So here are my 5 reasons this verdict. Number 5, a man was robbed of his future wife. Here's the letter that Laken Riley wrote to her someday future husband.
To my future husband. As silly as I feel writing this, my old small group leader once recommended it, so here I am. To my future husband, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. I'm working every day to become the best wife I can be, by working through my current relationships to best prepare me for ours and our kids one day. I'm focusing on God and what He defines as a faithful Christian life, and so that I can best embody those characteristics. I pray that you know that it is with my full faith and trust in God that I know this relationship has been handcrafted by Him. I pray that we continue to glorify the Lord, prioritize Him in every aspect of our lives, and raise our family, our future family, to be God-fearing Christians as well. I pray God is the center of our relationship as it is a gift from Him. I thank Him for you before I even know you. And can't wait to love you in the best way I know how for the rest of our lives. I pray you know and feel the importance of my love and hopes for our relationship. No matter what challenges we face, I pray that our trust in God and love for one another overrules the obstacle. May our relationship last forever. Your future wife, Laken.
Reason number 4, Genesis 9 should have been the sentence. The children Laken likely would have been robbed of a godly mother. Number 3, a local church robbed of the contributions Laken would have made. Number 2, her family has been irreparably harmed. Every Thanksgiving and Christmas will be painful for them. But the number 1 reason Genesis 9 should have been applied to this fellow is because Genesis 9 says the punishment for someone who takes the life of an image bearer is one's own life. Whoever sheds human blood by man, his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God, He made mankind. Laken was a precious image bearer of God. When you take a life, the Bible says you forfeit your own. Some would object. If life is so precious, why would you want to put an end to his? Simple, because you're not appreciating how precious human life is. It is so precious that God demands a life for a life. To those who would say that we shouldn't take a life because it's so valuable, I would say your view of image bearers is far too low. Others would say two wrongs don't make a right. Well, I agree, but Genesis 9 isn't a wrong. It's the right response. Some Christians would even argue, well, hey, he might get saved if he's allowed to live in prison. Well, first of all, that's utilitarianism, and Christians never apply pragmatism. And I could use the same argument against you. He might get saved as his own death is imminent. This is a moment I believe the church could be prophetic and proclaim to the government to do their Romans 13 duty and bear the sword. Why? Because God says so. Going to encourage you to discuss this. Please be thoughtful before you post. Thanks. Now, discuss.
All right, gentlemen, second half. Here's the strategy. Psalms. Imprecatory psalms. Now take a knee. Let